As my name is not here, I'll just mention my name is Kumar Chandan. I'm really happy to moderate the session where higher and technical education will be talked about how international collaboration can happen and the opportunities, the way to go ahead. We have a very wonderful panel to my left and to my right. And definitely to the point, we'll be talking about the only limitation which we have. So instead of 1 hour, we have to bound this in 40 minutes. So I would need the cooperation for all the panelists to let us be very crisp to what we are talking. So to again start with, the international collaborations for building knowledge ecosystem is, the question comes to our mind, why do we need the knowledge collaboration? If I can pass on this question to the person to my extreme right, so if you can introduce again with your name and please highlight on the starting of the point why we need the knowledge collaboration to happen. Do we have mics, please, on the stage again?
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Upendra Kumar Gupta. I'm the coordinator of the medical education. And since last 10 years, I'm training the medical teachers about the medical education technologies. A lot of changes have occurred during last 20 years, and we have not, in our medical education, have not renovated or we have not revised our curriculum. It is now from this year, after 10 years of consideration, various aspects, we have come to a new curriculum, and that is the innovation that is going to happen. A drastic change in the medical education system is going to be introduced in India, making the Indian doctors globally competent. While catering the needs of the country, besides catering the needs of the country, we should be globally competent. And globally, the medical education system is competency-based. And now from this year, we have introduced competency-based medical education system, where we have identified competencies in each and every subject that we are teaching. Now, so far, we were teaching the knowledge-based and the skill-based. But now, in our curriculum, we have introduced communication skills and the attitude part. We have created modules over the time of 4.5 years. Those modules will be the part of the curriculum where we will be teaching value system to the students. Because of the lack of that, and also the communication skills. Because of the lack of communication skills, we are witnessing so many atrocities between the doctors and patients and the relatives in our countries. And with this innovation, with this change that we have brought in our medical education, we will be able to solve this problem to a large extent. That is my hope. But for that, we need the cooperation of the authorities, not only the regulatory authorities, but the governments. In this system, what change we are making in the medical education is that the competencies have been identified, and those competencies will be certified by the teacher. Usually, the competencies that we used to learn were not assessed, but they will be assessed during the internship period. Nowadays, the internship period in the medical education is just wasted by preparation for the PG examination. The students are not learning the skills practically in the hospitals, and the time has been wasted. But now, with this system, the module has been changed. The student have to certify each and every competency, like catheterization, IV injections, IM injections, intubation, all these small procedures. Our MBBS doctors were not able to do it. But now, with the new system, new innovations that have been done in the education system, we'll be able to do that. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Dr. Upendra, you really well highlighted on the skill which is required, especially in the medical education as you are from that domain. So it's definitely is very much needed. The next thing comes about, so apart from the international collaboration which you are looking for in the field of education, industry also plays a very crucial and a very important role over here, sir. So if I may please throw this question to Mr. Jaideep Singh ji, who is the director from Manav Rachna University. So can you please highlight about the industry aspect and how the industry collaboration can happen across the borders, which will help both the nations to grow, sir?
Thank you very much. You've asked a very pertinent question. I come from the industry background. Almost for 32 years, I was in the industry before coming and joining Manav Rachna University, Faridabad, as a professor and a director for industry interaction. Now, when I talk about industry as such, within the industry, a lot of collaborations are happening. When I was with Tata for almost 20 years, we had several collaborations with, I was specifically with the Taj group of hotels. I was heading the HR and legal for them. And in Taj hotels, so they have done a tie-up with best of the hotels abroad, overseas. And it is not limited to the collaboration of learning from international hotels. At the same point in time, what kind of expertise and knowledge, what you have, what can you really give it to the international hotels as such? So this is what exactly is happening in industry. Not only in this, when I was with JP Group for almost 12 years, when I was designing, when I was in charge for the Formula One, I saw a lot of, we did a tie with Harman Tilke, it's a German company, to design the Formula racetrack. Now in that process, we did a lot of collaboration with a lot of German companies, and we could see that this collaboration gave a very fantastic yield. Now, within the industry and the university, you need to have a lot of collaboration again, because globe has shrunk. Globe has shrunk is because of the fact that with a few hours of distance, you could go back to, you can be in the US and you can come back to India and so on and so forth. So a lot of technology interchange is happening. So it's very, very important at this point in time, we must do our international tie-ups with the international universities. At the same point in time, collaboration should happen not only within Indian industries, we must also collaborate with international industries as such, so that the best of the knowledge, what exactly is, whether it's prevailing in Western world and the overseas, or the kind of a knowledge what we have within our own country, we should bring it together. Because ultimately it's a win-win situation for any of the countries as such, and it will be able to give it will become a wonderful world to stay and live in. Thank you.
So education, and that to the medical education, then the industry perspective. I would now like to ask the same question to Mr. Seher, who is again the education counselor from Embassy of Afghanistan. Sir, how are your viewpoint? Why is that knowledge collaboration really needed? And in what terms or what extent can, if I be specific about the collaboration with the Afghanistan and India, can really take this relationship forward in the field of education?
Thank you very much. Very good afternoon, His Excellency Ambassador, dignitaries on the dais. First of all, I would like to provide some details about the higher education system and our priorities in Afghanistan, with which you can understand the collaboration areas that can be explored. Today, Indian universities and institutions are hosting more than 16,000 Afghan students, and we look forward to increase these collaborations because we see them as our cultural ambassadors as well as a big force which can transform and bring development to the Afghanistan and general to the region and the globe. In today's world, the development of each country and nation is tied to the literacy rate, the development of science and technology, and its skilled human resource and capital. Well-developed human capital in science and technology are the main running force for the development of a nation. So we see India has taken great steps, and we are witness that huge changes are happening in this beautiful country. And therefore, due to the commonalities and linkages that we have, India is the first choice destination in education, collaboration, and different research and science activities that we have. For your information, ladies and gentlemen, as per the latest surveys that we have, Afghanistan is the second youngest nation in the world after Uganda. So 2/3 of the population of the country are below 30 age. So it shows how much important is to educate this force and to provide them quality education and skillful education. The education system in Afghanistan is managed by 3 different authorities. We have a Ministry of Education, which manages from school education from 1st till 12th standard. Then we have TVET, Technical Vocational Education Training Authority, which is responsible for technical and vocational trainings. It mostly covers till 14th year of degree programs, so which is semi-bachelor in our system. And then we have a Ministry of Higher Education, which is managing all affairs for higher education, all the academic degrees and others. So since 2002, after the establishment of new government and fall of the Taliban, we had good progresses in the field of human resource development. For instance, in 2002, we had 6 public higher education institutions in the country. And today we have 38 public universities. In the private sector, we started in 2004, privatization of higher education. And today we have 132 private universities and institutions in the country. In terms of the numbers of participation of female students have increased, so we have more than 35% of the students who are in the university are females. And many of the other students in different areas, in different courses that we have initiated and started. So India has played an important role in this process and is playing, and India is the first most loved country in Afghanistan. So the people of Afghanistan and the government of Afghanistan is always thankful for that. Most of these progress till now were quantitative, so because to outreach to every part of the country. But recent focus of the government and the Ministry of Higher Education of Afghanistan is now to improve the quality of education, the human resource development. In this regard, we have successfully reformed the organizational structure to enable the organization to be good and provide fast and good services to the clients, the students, and the universities. Following the organizational reform, to strengthen the legal basis of the reform, almost 10 to 12 regulation is processed and finalized, and it has been applied since this year. These regulations have helped the ministry and enlarge the universities in Afghanistan to expedite their development activities and apply reforms and prohibit from external factors to influence the system. Meanwhile, we in the Ministry of Higher Education working on higher education priority programs. One of these programs is to revise and develop the curriculum for undergraduate and postgraduate programs that are aligned with the world of work and market demand and in accordance to regional and international standards. Our quality assurance and accreditation framework are developed and applied. As a reason, this year, 6 universities got their academic accreditation nationally, and efforts are going on to cover all the other universities under the quality assurance and accreditation process, and also enable these institutions to synergize their academic activities and to ensure the quality graduates that are produced by the universities and to have a sound system. Ladies and gentlemen, strengthening research activities and establishment of international journals in various disciplines is another priority area in our higher education system. We are doing huge investment on physical infrastructure development of our universities. In almost 34 provinces, we have one higher education institution, but we still have to build many building and infrastructure to accommodate the need of the students, teachers, and administrative staff. Another important area that now we are focusing from this year is the e-learning and distance learning. That is to help our higher education system to reach the unreached part of the country and provide access quality education in remote and regional areas as well as the provincial universities. So it all, the priorities which is explained, so in all these fields, we need the collaboration from our regional partner countries as well as international countries and international donors, and especially India is the first and most important partner in this field that can assist Afghanistan. So we are open to collaborate with more number of universities to facilitate linkages between Indian universities and Afghanistan to share the experiences and their knowledge with Afghanistan, how we can overcome and get the standards in our higher education system. Thank you.
So, thank you, sir. We understood more about the Afghanistan, the numbers which they have in terms of the digital transformation when it's taking place not only in India, across the world. Where does Afghanistan stand, and how the distance learning can actually help us, the e-learning can help us in making this collaboration much faster, much easier, and much cheaper in terms of. So thank you so much for that insight, sir. So next, we also have Mr. Hector Cueva. He's the Honorable Ambassador from UKDOR of India. Sir, I would like to have your thoughts on international collaboration for building a knowledge ecosystem, definitely stating the presence of your country and India's.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Hector Cueva. I am the ambassador of Ecuador. Ecuador is located in the middle of the world, in America, in South America. I am already 7 years here in India, 5 years as Consul General in Mumbai, and almost 2 years here in Delhi. I had the opportunity to travel, to study, to make a research, and visit a lot of companies, states, cities, villages here in India. That's my 7th time here in Jaipur. And I had a chance to visit here in the Food Leg, here in Jaipur, in Telonia, Barefoot College. So I have some knowledge about the state and also the country. Normally, when we hear about the technology in our countries, in Latin American countries, we used to think that the best technology needs to come from countries like USA, Canada, countries from Europe, Australia, Korea, and sometimes also China. In our radar is never India, because the media is not so good with India. Normally in the Discovery Channel and National Geographic, we used to see the Ganga River, the sadhus, the Taj Mahal, and few other places. But we don't know what is the real India. From my personal point of view, and it's not my personal point of view, is the point of view of my researches is that India can help to develop my country in all the areas. One, let's talk about 3 areas. One, healthcare. The healthcare, the hepatitis C treatment in Ecuador, it costs more than $60,000 US. Here in India, the same treatment, it costs $3,500, almost 20 times more in Ecuador. 2, the prostatic cancer, the veratone. The treatment per month in Ecuador costs $1,200. Here in India, $90. We are talking about 15 times more. Let's talk about lung fibrosis, pulmonary fibrosis. The cost of the medicine is around around 1,200 also. Here in India is $150, 10 times less. And this is the general costs of the healthcare in Latin America. So the first thing, healthcare, medicines, the first thing that India needs to come and needs to take the power and go to our countries and do something with that. Second thing, agriculture. You know, I studied in 1 year agriculture with a scholarship in Israel, and they produce good irrigation systems, yes? But now, here in India, you have a giant irrigation system that's located in Jalgaon, in Maharashtra. And now, this is the biggest company in the world for irrigation systems. They produce biotechnology, the best tropical biotechnology in the world. The productivity per hectare in Ecuador is, here in India, in Jalgaon, is 2.5 times more for the same variety. So, it's incredible. The third thing, to finalize, I think, my presentation, is education. Education, in comparison with Afghanistan, we don't have too many students here in India, but I think we need to change that. One of the biggest problems that Ecuadorian people and Latin American people face in our countries is the lack of English. No more than 2 or 3% of the total population in our countries, they speak fluent English. So we need to define how to build bridges because you have to bring all these opportunities. They are not product or services, because normally in the trade and the commerce concept, they want to trade only services and product. We need to go a little bit forward. We need solutions. And the best source of solution of technology is India, not the first countries, because the adaptability, the accessibility, the adaptability, and the affordability are only possible here in India, and not in other countries all over the world. So India needs to take the power to go to our countries and transfer and transmit all the knowledge and wisdom that you have already here in India. Thank you.
Glad to hear that, sir. So that was very impressive, and thank you so much for considering India as one of the important countries for having this collaboration of knowledge sharing, and not only in education, but in health also, which you told that. And obviously in the examples which you said across the small cities like Jalgaon, the irrigation system has came up with. So I guess Dr. Upendra will be happy to hear that one person is also talking about the health and medical internationalization. So good thoughts and wider thoughts are keep coming. So every industry is getting focused on. So higher end technical education is also discussed along with the different aspects of industries also approaching. So next we will listen from Ms. Mumbi, is the Honorable Deputy High Commissioner of Zambia of India. Ma'am, will you please highlight on the aspects of the international collaboration with India?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, I wish to add voice to the previous panelists who expressed appreciation to the sponsors of today. This is a very important meeting where you've brought together a rich nexus of the industry, the academia, as well as the training institutions and government, of course. First and foremost, I also wish to express sincere gratitude to the Ministry of Higher and Technical Education for inviting us as a mission. We are truly happy that we are part of such an important meeting. Now, just to add on to the discussion this afternoon, the youth of any country are very important. They are actually the asset of a nation. And you find that the youth are very energetic, productive, and they are very innovative. And because they are the future leaders of our countries, it's always very important that we harness their potential in terms of education. So we are really pleased as a mission when we see the progress that has happened in Rajasthan. We've seen that there's a lot of improvement in the education sector. And that is very commendable. That is why we are here as a mission to learn and benchmark, as well as learn the best practices of how Rajasthan has managed to come up and be one of the giants in terms of education. Then I'm also pleased to inform you that we have a number of Zambians across India, and the highest number of Zambian students, are here in Rajasthan. And because of that, we feel as a mission there's a lot that we can do in terms of knowledge sharing. When we talk about the knowledge ecosystem, we welcome such an approach because what we are trying to say is that no country is an island. With globalization, we are facing the same challenges. Climate change is one problem we're all facing, whether you're in India or you're in Lusaka in Zambia. And because of that, we need to come up with networking and collaboration. And just to add on to what the ambassador of Ecuador mentioned, there's a lot that India can offer. Currently in Zambia, we have 2 learning institutions from India, which is the St. Eugene University and the Textile American University. These 2 institutions are doing a lot in our education sector, and I wish to take this opportunity to appeal to the other learning institutions who are here today that take advantage of the conducive investment climate that we have in Zambia. Zambia is centrally located. Before we used to look at it as a negative to be landlocked, but we finally realized that we are land-linked, meaning that all the 8 countries that are surrounding us are actually potential market. So if you were to bring your university in Zambia, you will actually have a market of all the other 8 countries that are surrounding us. And it's also a very conducive country to invest because currently education is one of our priority areas. In line with the 7th National Development Plan, we are trying to bring in skills development because, like the other panelists have mentioned, if our youth are not properly educated, then we have a problem as a nation. But if we properly harness the potential that the youth have, then we have a lot that can come out in our countries. I also wish to, like I mentioned earlier, implore on all of you to forge partnerships. Like was mentioned earlier, India has a lot in terms of medical facilities, in terms of agriculture, in terms of technology. So we are calling on the 2 universities, one maybe in Zambia, another one in India, to sort of like twin up so that we can have knowledge sharing. At the same time, we can try and also upgrade the skills that our students are learning in the universities. With that, I also wish to take this opportunity to reaffirm my government's strong commitment and ardent desire that we further strengthen our cooperation with this beautiful state of Rajasthan. I thank you.
So, thank you so much, Mumbai. You really highlighted very important aspects. Youth is definitely in very, and they are the energetic, they are more potential, and the right knowledge, the right education has to be imparted to them. To balance it, teacher training is equally important. We have to skill them up so that the seekers and the giver are actually balanced, and that is how we can collaborate. You highlighted on the climate conditions, you highlighted on the land linked, which the surrounding 8 countries will definitely open doors and gates of more networking opportunity, and we look forward to it. We would like to again pass on the same kind of question and an insight from Serge Thierry Mondoko. He is the culture counselor from Embassy of Gabon in India. So your views and thoughts on this topic.
Good afternoon, Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizer of this event, which gives some opportunities to meet and exchange on different avenues leading to different type of partnership. Let me also start by giving a brief introduction of my country, Gabon. Gabon is on Africa's west coast with a small population of 2 million people. Gabon has 9 states called province. Province because it's a French-speaking country. So, regarding the high education in Gabon, in particular public institution and university, I will give some numbers. There is 10 public institutions, 3 national universities, the public one. Currently, there is a need of 55,000 seats on just a capacity of 12,000 seats in the public sector. The government has deployed a new framework vision with 2 components, including the follow-up with practical training and the sharing skill. Lately, the government has launched the building of 4 new universities in order to enlarge the number of academic pools. The objective of these projects is to enlarge the supply and the quality in terms of choices of programs, specialized programs. This is one of the goals of the strategic plan of action of the President. And in the private sector, in Gabon, the private sector has used to have 57 institutions, but the last audit led by the Minister of Higher Education in Gabon has reduced the number of and found 8 credible institutions, 24 supervised and monitored. And the government had decided for the respect of some criteria to close 7 of those institutions. In the same vein, in order to improve professionalizations of training, the government has initiated new programs which include professional training within private enterprises in order to meet the development needs of the Gabonese economy. To achieve that aim, the government had decided to allocate in its investment policy project specific geographic region, the setting up of specialized institution or university according to the major economic activities of the state. For example, there is the state setting up of oil university in Ogwe Maritime, and the mine university in Otogwe for the manganese and uranium, and in the Moyen-Ogwe there is the architecture university, and in Ogwe Ivindo because of diamond and gold, and in the Wellington, one university in agriculture. Today, with the improvement of technology, we have to agree that there is one increase of global challenges. The ICTs security has become a necessity that needs to be addressed or tackled globally by the sharing of knowledge, technology, practices. To reach that goal, countries must gather within partnership with the aim to enhance secure internet access. The process needs to be open, reliable, secure, and stable. Currently, challenges are too important to be avoided without endangering the sovereignty of the country. Talking about the cooperation, cooperation with India in the field of higher education knows some improvement that can be classified to date in multilateral cooperation within the framework of the African Union with the various summit India-Africa. The multilateral cooperation within the framework of India-Africa Forum Summit has permitted Gabon, including 53 other countries in Africa, to benefit of some programs and technology, including video conference, telemedicine. So I think this is the reason of our presence in India as diplomats. Gabon is open to partnership with India in signing any MOUs according to priorities of its government policy. Our Minister of Higher Education was, during the last meeting, the 15th last meeting of higher education and innovation here. And we missed that opportunity to sign some MOUs with some universities. So I express.
Mr. Surge, I would like to interrupt. So the session is actually going little delay. I would kindly interrupt so that we have two other panelists to view. So the time with us is only 5:20. To understand the limitation of the panel session, my request, sir, my sincere.
Okay.
My apologies, but again, if we can please.
We look forward as Gabon to sign some MOUs with university, the different university I just listed a few moments ago. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Surge. That's again an opportunity for the Indian educators over here, all the people from higher education institutes and technical institutes. So this is a very humble and very polite offer from the Gabon, that any MOU opportunity, we are having that opportunity with us. We can definitely take it forward. The collaboration can happen through the department and the representative of that country. Now, I would like to understand few views from Professor Dr. Amit Jainji, Pro Vice Chancellor from Amity University, Rajasthan. Again, the topic remains the same, the international collaboration for building the knowledge. So what is the use and need over here, sir? Sir, the time limitation, I would like to please say that, if you can please wind up in, say, 4 minutes. Yes.
Thank you so much. It's really heartening to see and know comprehensively that what our partner countries sitting on this dais are doing in terms of their efforts to internationalize their education. I come from a group which happens to be one of the, not only the largest private education group, but one of the most global education group also in India, with around 13 campuses overseas and 12 campuses in India. I represent Amity University, Rajasthan. And in terms of international partnerships, we are really open to these partnerships. We already have more than 100 international collaborations, where specifically we are looking at opportunities for student exchanges or student mobility. These could be short-term exchanges, maybe for internships or a summer school or a winter school kind of a program. It could be a long-term exchange for a semester or a year. We are also open to have a lot of synergies in terms of aligning our curricula with the international standards, and we'll be happy if all the partners sitting here on the dais, they are open to adopt our best practices and also in the process help us also improve and benchmark our curriculum with the best practices all over the globe. We are also looking at research collaborations and partnerships. We already have a couple of government-funded projects which are funded from international bodies also, and we are open to these kind of collaborations. I being from Rajasthan, probably only 2 people are representing the state of Rajasthan on this dais. So I again extend a very warm welcome, as we call it in Rajasthan, Padharo Mare Desh, which is welcome to Rajasthan. And I extend invitation on behalf of my university to all the representatives of all the countries sitting here to come and visit our university. It's a 153-acre beautiful campus here in Jaipur. And we are away from pollution. We have best air quality. You get to breathe very fresh oxygen. It's a green and sustainable campus. And we have more than 100 programs which are globally benchmarked. Almost all our students, they study one foreign language. Just to share with you, out of these foreign languages, every student is required to pick up any one out of French, German, Spanish, and Mandarin. So we do teach French. So that also is a great opportunity for us to collaborate, as shared by my predecessor speaker. So that's it. I'll be very happy if we can go ahead by signing some of the MOUs and take this collaboration forward so that we can create a knowledge ecosystem. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Amit Jain. It was very clear and very crisp. This is what we are needing as an outcome of this conference and outcome of this panel session. Definitely an MOU must be signed. It could be a step forward for that collaboration to happen. So our last panelist for this panel discussion is Dr. Ashwin Kumar Sharma. He is the Vice Chancellor from Vijay Bhumi University. So I would like to have your views on these topics.
A very good afternoon. I think first of all I must convey special thanks to Government of Rajasthan and Elets, because I think they are discussing the right topic on the right time. Because we have been talking about why there is a partnership required or why there is a collaboration required in the knowledge domain. And it is very important that we all know that knowledge boom is retiring. And now we have been talking about many aspects which include promote active learning, which includes open innovations, which include to review the quality of knowledge. I mean, that's the discussion going on throughout the globe. And I think all of you, we all are aware that World Economic Forum, since the Government of India has been talking mainly on the employability, enhancing the employability of the youth, the World Economic Forum has come out with 10 skill sets which are very important in the times to come. And I think looking to those 10 skill sets, which include the complex problem solving, which includes the critical thinking, the people management, the manpower management, the creativity, the emotional intelligence, because that's the thing which is happening nowadays. Then service orientation, flexibility, decision making, and coordination with others. Because we have been working on this thing. Looking to all these things, it is very important that foreign collaborations are required, foreign tie-ups are required, because the way technology is changing in the system, and the way we have been talking about, all I've been talking in all, this thing about AI, machine language, artificial intelligence, data analytics, big data, blockchain, like that. I think in the previous session already we have discussed that even we are trying to go for collaboration with the edutech companies throughout the globe. In terms of that, since I am a chairman of a NEET portal committee with the Ministry of HRD, there we are basically trying to bring all edutech company on a same platform, and the basic purpose is that to bring the quality in the content and to ensure that we are able to deliver the best to the citizens, best to the students. Moreover, the 25% seats of that which will be earned out of this free, the allocation part, will be definitely shared for the poor and weaker section. So I think Government of India is very much open on this thing. When I was the Director General with the Government of India in Ministry of Electronics, such tie-ups we have taken up with multiple foreign universities. And I think we are open as a Vice Chancellor with Vijay Bhumi University in Karjat also, where we are already having number of collaboration with foreign universities in USA, UK, to have a tie-up, where we can have a students exchange programs also. And I think this is a demand of time. We all have to come out with a typical thinking of working or taking education in an atmosphere, because even the UGC, the parent legal body which is controlling the education system, has also come out with a change in the mindset where they are allowing 20% courses online in the education system. I think there is a change, because I remember I was setting up a global digital university in Tirupati Balaji in Andhra Pradesh 2 years back. When I gave the presentation to the Honorable CM, that was a restriction. Now they have allowed 20% online, and maybe with the draft policy which has come up recently, it is possible they may go up to 35% online courses. I think it's a good initiative by the Government of Rajasthan and the Elets. Thank you.
So, thank you so much, co-panelists. It is such an important session, so that 45 minutes is not a justice to this panel, but due to the shortage of time and the limitation which we have, I would again like to thank all the co-panelists over here. You had given your very important views. I may not be in a position to re-ask you and to forward you again the questions. So with this, we are winding up this session for this day.
Thank you so much, Chandan. A round of applause for this wonderful session.